So this is March in Alberta. Another messy snow blast. It's not gonna last, it'll melt. That pile didn't melt fully yet anyway, but they never do. They're just making a sloppy mess is what it's doing. So I thought I would come out in it and drive around in it and get slopped out of it. Because they don't do anything with the roads, of course. They'll let it just melt. They won't plow or do anything like that. That just takes taxpayers' money. Or whatever they do, sit on their ass and drink Tim Hortons coffee. Is that what I do? I don't make any money. I just sit here. And every shift it's been like that. I'm not even getting shifts now. So it's that bad. That flippin' bad. People's panic has settled in and they're just not spending money or doing any of that. You know, the world's not going to get better. People think it's going to get better. I don't know who thinks it's going to get better. It's just going to be straining and pressurizing right to the very close. Of course, when you look at it from the perspective that there has to be this time of utopian renewal, that's what I'll call it, utopian renewal from the powers that be on this earth right now. But I'm saying spiritual powers. Spiritual powers are operating. Spirit forces of wickedness are operating to amalgamate the world powers together under one umbrella. This is called the beast system, and it's coming in swiftly. But I wanted to share a little bit of a writing that I found in an archive on the internet from Adolf Ernst Nock, which I perceive not. I perceive not. So it's not a physical perception. It's an invisible perception that we have in spirit. And every believer has that because God has given us that. A spiritual insight, a spiritual perception to be realizing what's operating invisibly in God's universe. And these forces, they operate big time. Okay, ever since my school days, now this is Adolf Ernst Nock. When I was once asked to take a class in astronomy in the teacher's absence and deal with the subject of dark stars, these have a special interest for me. There was a fascination in the thought that in the vast fields of space, there might be innumerable objects which we cannot see, but which may possess an interest even greater than the luminous or illuminated glories that greet our gaze. They would be somewhat like the secrets of God's revelation, hidden from our sight until his appointed time. In those days, dark stars could be detected only by their effect on luminous orbs. Some of these were suddenly and periodically eclipsed, so that the only cause seemed to be an intervening invisible opaque body. Others were drawn from their courses so that the presence of an unseen star seemed indicated. Now, however, we are no longer dependent on such guesses. We have means of seeing much that the human eye cannot see because it is outside its range. Instruments which register light waves much shorter than those which affect the human eye can see much that otherwise would be invisible. It was long supposed that the longest star, or the largest star in the heavens, was Epsilon or Aegaeus. Or he gave. Okay, let's see. It's right there, if you can see it. Right there, yeah. Sorry, I can't pronounce it. Which can be seen with the naked eye. Now, a companion of this star, which gives an infrared light, hence is invisible to the unaided eye, has taken the leading place, as it seems to have 10 times as great a diameter. This mammoth is supposed to be 27 billion times the size of our sun, while the former was only 27 million times as great. Without pinning our faith to any figures, the thought of such immensity must magnify the greatness of the Creator and grind us to fine powder in his sight. Is not this a parable to the spiritual? God has prepared such great surprises for those who love him, which the human eye is too limited to perceive. Only by a metaphysical perception of the Spirit can we apprehend the great mysteries or secrets which are not apparent to the eye of flesh. Only those who have God's Spirit are outfitted for the exploration of his wonders. And this will happen in the oncoming eons. For members of the body of Christ, we are going to see such magnificence in the universe that it is no words to describe it. In our new bodies, the rest are blind to the greatest of his works. How blessed is the privilege of entering into the depths of God.